Yeah, right there?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
Wow, that was an aggressive move.
My chin.
No, guys. It wasn't Ryan the porn star this time. It was actually his big black mic. It smacked him in the face.
Uh-oh.
This is the East Coast Boning Podcast.
My tooth fucking hurts. No, just kidding.
And we're here for another episode. This was a really cool, kind of up-in-your-face episode with Curt Geier from Working Class Bowhunter, focusing on his recent events, slamming beginning of the year, early season year of hunting, and the Quistle series podcast, which is very informative and kind of another slap-you-in-the-face type thing. We have a lot of stuff going on. Monday the 28th at Elite Archery, as well as the Modern Assassin is going to be in-house at Shabine Brewing.
Well, East Coast Bowhunting Podcast will be there too.
Oh, really? I heard those dudes suck.
They do suck.
Yeah. Well, at least Elite and the Modern Assassin will be there.
They'll have someone cool to talk to.
Exactly. A ton of giveaways. Our buddy out of Pennsylvania, Slick, is going to make the jaunt. That's good news. We encourage everyone. We promise you, if you come from out of state, and even if it's like Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, or even New Jersey, if you come from out of state, we'll make it worth your while to come and visit. We'll definitely hook you up with some swag. We'll all buy you at least one beer. We'll make sure that you're going to have to get a hotel that night. So you're going to have fun. Come join us. Trev, what do you take away from this episode, actually?
It's just an amazing episode, man. It's just cool to kick it with Curt again. It's been a long time coming. We haven't kicked it with Curt. A lot of
Since
things.
the shoot.
Yeah. Just a lot of shit, man. There's a lot of jam-packed, awesome energy from pronghorn hunting all the way to whitetail hunting in Illinois and
Muley,
talking about
elk.
the shitty East Coast.
Yeah. What do you take away from this, Ryan?
Oh, man, what I take away from this is, don't be afraid to try new things. You get stuck in a rut. You've been hunting the same old stands for years and years
Get
and
it?
years.
The rut?
Oh, we'll get it.
I want to get stuck in a rut.
Right?
Yeah.
So, go ahead. Don't be afraid to try new things. A spot you've been thinking about forever or just pressuring, these beds, these buck beds. Go ahead, sneak into them. Try something new. You never know what's going to happen out of it, and you're never going to know until you try. So go ahead and try something new and get out of that rut you've been in and chase the rut.
Awesome. What do you take away, Ghost Hunter?
Just learning every day, every week, just being a better hunter. It's just still staying at our roots, but just ultimately being a better hunter. Not even that we talked about it today, but still shooting your bow, still staying, scouting and just staying after it. And I take away a lot from listening to a lot of other people, and that's why I'm quiet sometimes. It's just really nice to listen.
Hell yeah.
Listen, Linda.
You have two ears and one mouth, right, Trev?
Yep. So you can listen twice as much as you talk.
So put in your earbuds, shut the fuck up, # Beast Coast. This is a hardcore motherfucker, Curt Geier, and it's all about finding that balance. Let's kick it.
Why East Coast Bowhunting Podcast?
Because neither one of us wear pink camo.
East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Look, man, I'm from Wisconsin. I listen to East Coast Bowhunters because you don't get anything more real than these guys.
Because East Coast Bowhunting sets the standards for keeping its listeners informed on everything that matters in the hunting industry.
Nice having somebody, local and represent the East Coast for us.
The East Coast is going to saddle up. Number one source for slaying whitetails on the East Coast.
Well, you might see Jesus if you actually choose something, it'll get you into heaven.
Why East Coast? Why not? I'm East Coast, baby. That's how we roll. Chew on that.
Come on the show, a stranger, and you feel like one of the boys when you leave.
Because I get my hunting camp anytime I want.
There's some absolute monsters roaming the East Coast, and I think it needs a little attention, so why not bring it to the East Coast Bowhunters Podcast?
Man, because East Coast is a tight-knit crew, and y'all like me. Raw, real, no bullshit.
Because you guys are hometown boys. I love you guys.
East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
This is Curt Geier with Working Class Bowhunter, and East Coast Bowhunting Podcast is the only hunting podcast I'll tune into.
Oh, man. So we're back at Slay's Studio in Coventry, Connecticut, hiding in the mountains of God's heaven. This is East Coast Bowhunting Podcast, and I'm your boy D-Rock here with
East Coast Trev.
And
Ryan the porn star.
as well as
Ghost Hunter.
And we are here to help you stay clear, I guess. Keep your mind clear. Get your fix of podcasts. Make your workday a tad easier, and maybe put on your headphones when your wife is yelling at you. You know, it'll make it that much easier. Just nod your head, say yes, dear, and shit. I mean, if you're a woman and your hubby's yelling at you, just slap them in the face and say, shut up, I'm listening to East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. Just as easy. So, I mean, you guys know our sponsors. We're brought to you by Shibeen Brewing, The Hunter's Beer, and we have a whole bunch of list of sponsors. You know who we affiliate with. So let's run down the promo codes, because some things may change, and they are changing for the better, and I can't wait till next week. Monday, the 28th. What's going on, Trev?
We'll be at Shibeen Brewing with Mr. Christian Costa. And there will be a ton of giveaways, tons of beer, and tons of people.
Yeah, it's going to be dope as fuck.
We actually going to have a special guest coming 6 hours away.
Yep. We're going to be blessed by the presence of the modern assassin, Garrett Benner. We just got back from an ill hunt, and we may touch on that a little bit on Monday, so we'll just wait until then. But the biggest news for me and all of us is it's going to be huge news for the podcast. But even bigger than that is it's going to be the new Elite Bow reveal. So if you're interested in seeing what that is with your own eyes, bring some shades because your eyes may bleed. He's bringing the new bow. Christian Costa's bringing the new bow from Elite Archery. Elite Archery will be in the house.
I have half chub.
Dude.
Half chub.
Whoa.
Already.
The half chub's a big teepee.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a full chub.
The best is yet to come.
Get it? No. But yeah, I mean, it's the newest bow out. Its releases October 29th. We're podcasting with Elite Archery the 28th. So if you want to see it before everyone and maybe touch it, caress it, hug it, give it a little kiss on the riser, be there. Because we're going to have, like Trev said, a bunch of giveaways from Elite Archery and the Outdoor Group, a bunch of giveaways from Death Wish Coffee, Outright Hunting, and a bunch of our other sponsors. And I'm trying to get you guys one free beer with a purchase of one beer. So it's going to be worth it. We're going to be shooting the bow inside the beer hall. He's going to show us how to tune it, and you just got to be there. It's going to be sick. It's going to be sick. So let's go down our list of promo codes. Let's start with ethics.
If you don't shoot ethics, then fuck you. That's not where you're going with that, though, huh?
No, I like that. I like that. That's
East
six.
Coast 10.
East, Coast 10.
Jesus Christ. It's almost the same.
Never gets old.
It's almost the same.
Death Wish Coffee.
East Coast 15?
10.
I just was trying to juke you guys out.
Oh,
East Coast 10.
you're a good juker. You played running back? Fullback?
Nope. Never left the line, my friend. Never
there we
left
go.
the line.
There we go. Man of the trenches. Also, we have Tree Thrasher. So you imitate the wild. And that's promo code East Coast 15. 15. What is that? Is that a baby diaper?
No, that's a deer.
Oh, that's a deer coming. Oh, thrashing.
Whoa.
Damn.
Am I doing it what?
Insane.
Yep.
Insane. Nor'easter Game Calls. Use promo code ECB and get yourself a free lanyard up to November 1st with any ECB game call purchase out of Nor'easter Game Calls. If you spend over $100, that's only 2 ECB Evo Series grunt calls. You get the free lanyards and free koozies. And these koozies are pretty dope. Why don't you describe it a little bit for the listeners, Ghost Hunter?
This koozie is making my beer not only cold and staying delicious, they're sexy. Because we have the East Coast logo on them as well. They're camo. They got birds. They got deer. They're fucking awesome.
And on the bottom of the koozie, we got a big ass logo.
Oh, I didn't
Our
even
logo.
see that. That's like
You got to finish your beer to see it.
like magic roll the reel.
You're
That's
gonna
so when you
spill it on
finish
yourself?
That's for when you finish it and you top it off, lean it back. Someone sees the logo, they're like, "Oh, ECB,
Shit.
That's genius.
yeah, hell yeah."
Here we're looking it up.
Damn, ECB. I like that. I like that. And we also have a promo code with Gator Outdoors, outfitting the working class. That's promo code ECB what?
10.
10. Save you some. That's the
ECB 10.
I like that. I like that. And you know what? Gator Outdoors is the one-stop hunting shop online store from fishing, waterfowl hunting, deer hunting, turkey hunting. I mean, they've got it all. Just go there and, I mean...
They just linked up with Lone Wolf Custom.
Yeah, Lone Wolf Custom Gear jumped on
to the list.
Yeah, so you could use our promo code to get a discount on that too. ECB10 there. ECB10. And this show is presented by Working Class Bow Hunter, the OGs in hunting podcasts, the brand in the hunting industry, the only sponsor that actually likes us. You can use promo code ECB on their website and get all kinds of working class swag. So use promo code ECB and save you some. And if you like shooting HHA, use their promo code WC15 and save yourself 15% off. And this is East Coast Bowhunting Podcast, and we're here as always for new and old hunters by sharing our experiences in the woods through playing and slaying. What's up?
What's up, boys?
Chilling. What's going on?
It was a good day in the woods today, Trev.
It was beautiful.
Yeah? Why don't we dip right into that, man? Ghost Hunter, start us off right, man.
I'll just put it this way, and I'm not one of these guys that likes to take a lot of photos out there, but it was beautiful. The foliage was peak today. You know, that's one of the greatest things about October hunting is there might be a little bit of a lull, but the scenery is gorgeous. The weather's perfect. And I actually did my first hang and bang today. First time,
Really?
first time in a lone wolf stand.
Did you wrap up?
No, I'm allergic to latex. So.
Oh, damn! So you're just spreading the plague of positivity, right?
At least that's what
I don't think we can handle 2 porn stars, so calm the fuck down.
No, but it was really awesome. It was. I've always wanted to do it. Trev and I picked a really cool spot, and we headed in, and it was easy. It was efficient. It was quiet. And I'm already going to buy the custom like next week. I'm just going to sell some blood.
Really?
No,
Really?
I'm hooked. It was to get in and out of that stand as quiet as I did, and I felt like a fucking ninja. It was really nice. It was the weight of it was perfect. You know, I mean, I know they're making lighter stuff right now, but for half the price of what they're doing for the custom stand for a beginner like myself, I think I cashed in.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. And you know what? That's I'm glad you bring that up, man, because don't be ashamed to not get the best of the best gear out there. Start somewhere. I mean, shit. Ryan and Trev saw me start with the heaviest climber in the world.
Yeah.
All steel. And I mean, you got to start somewhere. This way it lets you appreciate the good stuff. So that I like how you bring that up, man. That's something. Don't feel shame. You know, cater to your pockets.
Exactly. No shame to the game.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a bunch of good gear out there, so there's no bad gear.
Well, I guess now that deer season's here, I guess we can bring back Trev's bloopers because that shit occurred again.
Really?
Oh, it was a rough day.
It was good. So, so we backed up the car. Me and Ghost Hunter went and got sandwiches. We headed to the woods. We got all geared up, man. Got there, all tied up.
You're baiting deer with sandwiches?
No. We were eating the sandwiches for lunch. We went in early because it was just going to be an absolutely gorgeous day, and we wanted to enjoy the whole day. So we got there, and Ghost Hunter was getting his stand all set up, this, that, and the other thing. I'm all ready to go. Got my saddle on, and I'm like, fuck. Dude, we got a problem. I said, I'm going to drop you off here.
The look on your face of fear. It was like...
I'm digging through the car, man. I'm like,
you had to take a poopy?
It's got to be here. No.
Your bow.
I forgot my arrows at home.
No.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Rev's bloopers.
So I drove all
He's like, you're good, right?
Yep.
He's like, you're good, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I think I'm just going to head this way. And he's like, I'll meet you back in a half hour. I'm like...
So I drove home and got my arrows and... picked off where I left off, got into my set, started going up, and I realized that I forgot my ring of steps.
Oh, damn.
So thankfully, the tree that I had been hunting there on this public spot is an older maple, and it has a bunch of branches off. So I just set myself up in my sticks, and I got up to the branches, and then I was able to use them kind of like I just used the tree to make my set. So it was kind of
pretty dope.
Yeah, it was because I was like, "Fuck this, dude." Yeah, it's only 1:30, and I could probably make it home. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even care, man. I'm just gonna set up. I'm gonna hunt it, and I'm gonna enjoy it. It was pretty fucking comfortable, to be honest with you. I was actually pretty happy. It was fun, and I was able to mess around with my bridge and kind of like play with things because I had been in there for we were hunting for quite some time, so it was kind of cool. We definitely learned some new things today, but it was just absolutely gorgeous. I didn't see any deer.
No deer.
But the foliage, like Ghost Hunter said, was phenomenal, and it was just awesome to be in the woods and enjoy it.
Yeah, and it was a perfect win, too. You know, for two guys to hunt and what was going on, to get some intel. We checked some cameras. It wasn't a waste of a day at all.
Is that the spot where you guys started to kind of set up for yourselves and shit?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's where I smoked that doe out of the maple tree.
Did you roll it up first, or?
No.
Oh, damn. Just slapped it in the bong.
Just slapped her up.
Just lit it on fire.
Yeah, there we go. So climbing that tree, I'm actually curious. You said you used some sticks or the sticks of the tree.
So what I actually used was I used the Lone Wolf sticks. And the reason I did this, and this is, you know, I know that
you forgot your Wild Edge steps.
Well, it's not even that. I still use Wild Edge steps, but my thing was that I got into saddle hunting a little bit later in the season because I was waiting for the Yark, and I wasn't able to play around, or the lack thereof of my studying of the steps. So I had to work all summer, so I didn't have the chance to mess around with the steps and use them to my ability, and I don't feel the most comfortable with them thus far. So I bought a set of sticks because they're just an easier thing to set up.
For yourself?
For myself.
Because you have more experience with sticks.
Right, exactly. And then being just a heavier set dude and not as limber, it's just tough for me to pull myself up and mess around. I wasn't able to mess with like naders and swaders. I just wanted to be able to hunt. So I just bought myself a set of sticks, and I got up in the tree. And I still use my steps, and I use them for a ring of steps. I absolutely love the ring of steps, and I definitely use them on other occasions, like my presets and stuff. But to be like hanging and banging and getting up the tree fast and efficient, I'm just not at that point yet with my steps. So So
it's a learning curve is what you're trying to say.
It's definitely a learning curve.
And Ryan, you always use the steps all the time.
All the time. Love my steps.
But he had the chance of using the steps all summer.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
So tell us your perspective on that, actually.
I mean, like Trev said, it's 100% a learning curve. You've never used them before, you do want to practice with them. I did practice with them all summer long. I mean, hell, my parents had some limbs they want to cut down on the tree, so I fucking got my bag of steps out, and I'm up there cutting limbs off the trees with my steps. So, I mean, they're versatile for everything, but if you're not really good with the knot, if you're, if you can't make the larger steps, and you're going to need to carry more in, but definitely they're a wonderful tool. They're a perfect way to get up the tree, especially on public land where you can't put the screw-in steps. They're a great tool to your arsenal, but you definitely got to be efficient with them and know what you're doing, especially if it's dark out. You don't have a preset in there and you're doing the knots and you're climbing up there. You got to know what you're doing with them, but they are freaking awesome, man.
That's awesome. My perspective... See, so that's two totally different perspectives. So, and it goes to show with any kind of quality gear, you need to practice. Because
for sure.
If not, you're just not going to get the hang of it. Even Ghost Hunter over here, when he just got the Lone Wolf Climber, the hang-on stand with sticks, that was a bit of a learning curve because you weren't used to that either, right?
I've never done it before up until yesterday.
Yeah,
I was
so
climbing trees in my backyard, and I'm a firm believer that you go slow and.
Yes.
You don't need to do it in a hunting situation the first time. There's no shame in going in your backyard and trying some little trial and error, making sure, I tried 2 linesman systems with me. So every time I would go around a branch, I clip one off, clip the other one on. So when I clip the last one off, I'm always hooked in.
Right.
And that gets a little... it takes you a little while to get that system down and not making any noise and swing around a tree. And I'm fucking ready though. Like
That's awesome.
I'm ready. I love it. I think it's the thing I love most about everything that we're talking about is we've been hunting for a long time. And we're doing new shit.
Right.
And we're learning new stuff. And we're evolving. And I never wanted to adapt this way. But it's what times are changing to. And I'm in it. I'm loving it.
In it to win it.
That's
Evolving just like our Grunt Series Grunt Call. Evo Series Grunt Call. Please check out www.northeastergamecalls.com. It's jewelry for the woods. So back to what we were talking about specifically is like my perception on the climbing, different multiple climbing systems. I had a rude awakening hunting Sika deer, and I'm just going to touch on it on the climbing aspect on it because swamps in there are up to your hips, so it's not like you can place your backpack down somewhere and start fresh because the very, very first hunt was an afternoon hunt when I arrived down there, and I actually use... For my presets, I usually use one lone wolf stick because presets, all I do is go into the woods with one stick and my wild edge steps are already preset up there. So the lone wolf stick takes place of 2 steps, but it's only one strap. So you just strap it on, fucking hop on in and use protection, Ryan. We always promote using protection, being careful. But again, Ghost Hunter hit it right on the nose. Take your time climbing. And as far as the swamp, that first time, it was a bit of dry land that afternoon hunt, so I brought in my one stick, and it was more timber versus like frag grass from swamp and shit, so I was able to go in there no problem. But truth be told, every single day after that, I was running the wild edge steps because if you're going trooping through 10-foot tall frag grass and the swamp water is up to your hips, you're trying to get by that, and the skinny little Sika deer trail, because that's the only way you're going to get in there, because it's not like the woods that you want to stay off the deer runs. Here, you're actually on the deer runs, because it's the only way to get in. Because other than that, you're going to get slapped in the face by a ton of frag grass, and it's not fun.
No.
So the point I'm getting at is with the wild edge steps, because it's in a bag, this way you just swing the bag around while you're standing in fucking nasty, stinky fucking salt marshes, and you open up that bag and you start climbing that way. So that's what really worked out for me. And it's not for everyone, and we did hunt out of saddles, and we were rocking the modern Assassin Yark saddle out of Wild Edge made by Arrow Hunter. It's pretty badass. Hopefully that will become available to other people because the camo print on that is insane. Talk about blending a Mexican into a North American tree. That's tough to do, man. And the modern Assassin camo does it. So, I mean, 4 different perspectives of climbing methods. Point of the story is practice your methods. And it's always a learning curve. So practice makes perfect.
Sorry, I had to wet my whistle there. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the weekly Whitetail News with Ryan the Porn Star. We are now heading into the end of October. The weather is cooling off, and the buck activity is getting hot. Red hot.
Is it on fire?
It's en fuego. As the season heats up, of course, so do the anti-hunters. This story comes out of Wausau City. I'm probably going to get banned for that. Wausau City in Wisconsin. The city has proposed an ordinance that would impose a $50 fine to hunters hanging deer in their yards within city limits.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not
No
cool.
way.
Yeah, and the vote is actually, today's 21st, right? The
Yeah.
vote is actually tonight on that proposed ordinance, so we'll see how that comes out.
That's insane because that's what I do in my house.
Right.
Like my neighbors see that shit.
And you're in the dirty water.
We used to have a competition of how many we can hang in the front lawn.
Right.
It's like a party balloon. You put it out and you come over and
Like
you put a balloon
piñata.
on the mailbox. You hang a deer in the yard. You come over, drink beer. What the fuck?
So if this ordinance passes, then hunters within the city limits will have to hang, skin, and butcher their kills in an enclosure that'll prevent the activities from being viewed from others.
What town and state is this?
This is in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Really?
In Wausau City.
That's insane.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Good old West
hang on.
Fancy.
Stop.
That's what happens when you have that many cheese curds, I guess.
Yeah, isn't that fucking nuts?
Yeah, the brain
Confuses
starts to melt a
people.
bit. Yeah.
So I guess be careful where you're hanging and butchering your kills over in Wisconsin.
That's
and
insane. Man. I
tonight,
can't get over
tonight is supposed to be the vote on it. So
that's not going to pass.
There's no way, not Wisconsin.
No way.
Not fucking in Wisconsin.
I don't think so.
Not Wisconsin. I'm going to Shabine him.
Shabine. What Shabine you got there?
I got the John Beer.
John Beer. Don't be queer. Drink John Beer.
Love John Beer.
Love it. It is good.
Why?
Which one you got?
Monday. What kind of good beers are down there,
dude?
On tap.
You say what kind?
Can we interrupt real quick?
Yeah, man.
Like we always do.
Yeah, you always do. Fuck it. Go ahead.
So right now,
I'll just sit here and drink my John Beer.
There you go. Actually, down at Sika Camp, I brought a case of Shabine, of course. And we were sipping on the new sour called Ecto Yum Yum.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a blood orange tangerine Yum Yum sour beer.
I love when D comes to podcast land, because what happens is then we know all the new shit that's happening at Shabine before we get to actually taste it, because we don't get the chance to go to Shabine like he does. So.
Yeah, I kind of live there. It's bad. It's bad.
Keep us drooling over here.
Well, they made some other stuff legal. Maybe I wouldn't drink as much Sabine. You know, it's like shit. But so they have the other new one is the Masquerade Baby Seal's Masquerade Party.
All right,
which is pretty dope. It's another kind of citrusy IPA. It's really delicious.
Because we had the Seal Party and then we had the Slumber Party. So
Yep.
now we have
the Masquerade.
Whoa! All right,
Yeah.
all right. I just want to fill in newer listeners. Go ahead.
Baby Seal's wearing costumes. It's kind of creepy, but when you drink it, you're like, okay, it's not so bad.
Makes sense.
It's not so
now.
creepy. Yeah. And then the newest one, or not newest, but a dessert beer that I've been drinking after we would have our meal at the end of the day and kind of put me right to sleep is the pumpkin cannoli. That is delicious.
I have seen that. I have seen the advertising for that. Yep, I'm
Dude,
excited for that one.
Definitely a dessert beer. If you're big on sweets, this is the one for you. If you're not so big on sweets and you like a little port wine after your dinner, at the end of the dinner and stuff, to kind of sip on something sweet, split it with someone. I mean, these are tall boys. Pour out half a cup and you're still going to get fucked up, man. These shits are fucking strong. Yeah. Half a cup, get fucked up. That's my kind of beer, you know? So, I mean, they have a lot of new beers, man, and they have some good old ones. They have the Bullet Takes Flight, the little weed nugget, riding the bullet. It's really cool, man. I just love the creativity of the staff. Yeah, it's a very organic place all the way around. And Monday the 28th, from 5 to 10 p.m. Eastern, Ethic Archery.
I wasn't supposed to tell anybody.
Archery. Elite Archery and Ethics giveaways. That's what I meant to say.
Do you know who's taking a 6-hour ride up here?
No, tell me.
A bow hunter. Life.
Really?
Yeah.
No, sir.
He texted me today.
He's going to make it?
I wasn't really supposed to say anything, but I was
from
so
Pennsylvania,
excited.
Right?
Yeah, I was so excited when he had texted me and he said, I want to surprise you guys, but I just kind of want to let you guys know that I am coming up. So,
wow.
I was just so excited when we started talking about it that just want to let you guys know that too.
Shabine. That's awesome news, man. Dude, from all the way from PA, we actually made friends with, we were friends with him on social media and stuff, and we went to the WCB shoot in Illinois, which he made it out to from Pennsylvania, and now he's going to come out to the Beast Coast in Connecticut for this. Dude, that's insane, man. We're going to have him jump on the mic real quick for a hot sec.
Definitely.
You know, pop his podcast cherry. You know? We'll take it easy. I'll make Ryan strap it on and wear
good
protection.
Old Slick, man.
Yeah, Slick.
I'm excited.
Slick is awesome.
I'm so excited that he's going to be here, honestly.
Such a nice dude, too, man. And he's so nice. He's one of those dudes, he's so nice you don't want to fuck with him. You know, like you... It's like, he's capable of something. Yeah. I know he is, so... But he's super nice, dude, down to earth. But yeah, back to news. Sorry, Ryan.
No, I'm good. You guys wrapped it up. No, I'm just fucking with him. The look on D-Rock's face, like, what?
Actually, can you beer me?
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on. Which beer would you like here, D?
All of them?
Blueberry Yum
You
Yum,
can't
please.
have all of them.
Blueberry Yum Yum. Thank you.
We need some for the rest of us. So the next story up, this is not deer nor bow hunting related, but just an astonishing event that all of us outdoorsmen and women can appreciate. On October 15th, meteorologists from the National Weather Services in Duluth, Minnesota office believe they saw a plume of smoke from a wildfire on their radars. They pinpointed the location to be the Rice Lake National Wild Refuge. The National Weather Service contacted the refuge, and come to find out, this was not a plume of smoke. It was 600,000 ducks in the air at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
Was anyone around with a shotgun? Because duck season's open.
They were actually, I don't know if it was at the time there, but they were actually doing a waterfowl survey at the time.
You could use a bow at that point.
You could use fucking anything. You could use a rock at that point, dude. That many migrating ducks in one spot, over 600,000 ducks at one time, that it actually looked like fire on the meteorologist's radar.
That's amazing.
Cool. Isn't that fucking
cool.
incredible?
That is.
Super cool. So now here in Connecticut, we've seen a big drop in temperatures. We've had a couple minor frosts, but nothing great just yet. The daytime temps are peaking into mid-60s with overnight lows down into the 30s. So a couple minor frosts, but...
Has it killed the mosquitoes?
No, I got triple E
Maryland.
today probably. I got bit like 8 times in the head.
Well, that was another thing. I love interrupting you because when I was on Where to Hunt podcast, they were talking about mosquitoes, and I'm like, mosquitoes? I said, do you guys have triple E like we do? And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, we have fucking triple E. I said, you can die in 11 days if you get bit by a mosquito.
Jesus Christ, I might die.
Yeah, you're working on it, dude.
No, they don't have it in Maryland yet. It's just Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
No, just D-Rock.
It came from some fucking island again.
They sucked my blood. They're like, oh, shit, this is some good shit. They fly away like, yo, homie, come here, check this guy out. This guy, he's got some good shit.
Sorry, Ryan. So anyways. I'm just so excited.
Excited for Monday the 28th. Elite Archery at Shabine Brewing. And the Modern Assassin. And Slick. Modern Assassin and Slick out of PA.
So as the Ghost Hunter and Trev said, today was an absolutely beautiful day. We got some rain moving in tomorrow, so a little bit of a storm storm front coming through here. Then it's going to be mostly dry for the remainder of the week. So for you moon phase hunters, we are on the downhill of the waning crescent. Ghost Hunter, what's your guess on the illumination right now?
42%.
No, it's 53%.
Maybe we're all reading different things.
42%.
I got 45% where I was getting it.
47, Bob. 47%, Bob.
$1.
Big money, big money. Oh, wait, that's Wheel of Fortune.
Trevor went over, so Ghost Hunter gets that. So we're at the 45% illumination, going downhill to the 10% come Friday. So whatever way you hunt, get out there, put some meat in the freezer, and get it done. And that is your weekly Whitetail News, brought to you by Ryan the Porn Star. And let's do something new and send Ghost Hunter your nudes. He would love them.
Oh, I like that. I don't discriminate.
Welcome to another edition of the Borderline Corral for Borderline Issues at Hand. People, we need to support our local shops. We lead by example by starting from ground zero. Want to get your bow work done right before your eyes? Shop at Trader Jan's Archery Pro Shop and Wicked Twisted Bowstrings to get that at-home feel and Archery Pro service. Supplying your archery needs since 1991. Get wicked and twisted at Trader Jan's. All right, so we're back on the line with Curt from Working Class Bow Hunter. How you doing, homeboy?
What's up, man?
Shit, just happy to have you back on, man. I feel like it's been forever, man.
I know. I feel like it has been a while. I appreciate you having me back on, and I've kind of been I feel like I've been out of touch for a while, which is kind of nice, but time to get back on it.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because, you know, we have like kind of like our group of friends and whatnot, and some that don't necessarily talk to you on as much of a regular basis. They're like, oh, I haven't heard from Curt, this and that. It's like, dude, don't read into it, man. He's got a fuck ton going on right now. He's just taking care of Curt and his family. He's just on a mission right now. So, for our first-time listeners or someone that might have missed your episode for whatever reason, why don't you tell us who you are, where you're from, and where we can find you?
Well, I'm Curt Geier. I guess I'm one of the dudes behind Working Class Bowhunter podcast, weekly podcast and video podcast on Carbon TV. I don't know. I'd say we're like the relaxed, edgy podcast, or I guess one of the first ones on the scene. So that's kind of like our notoriety. Other than that, I'm just a regular dude who likes to kill shit with a bow, and now whatever I want. So it's kind of awesome.
Hell yeah, that is pretty cool. And since you just said that, like whatever you want, can you dip into that a little bit with the new sponsorship and your recent events? Because that was pretty badass to see, actually.
Yeah, I just had a cool experience. We work with Loophole Optics out of Oregon, and I just killed my first animal 2.5 weeks ago with a 6.5 Creedmoor, my first rifle kill, and it was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. Can we go into a little bit of detail with that as far as like, because I'm sure you were just walking around at Fuckton, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. You just want to start there on that story or what?
Yeah, let's kick it off from there.
I get from the very beginning, like how I ended up out there.
Well, let's start with how you acquired the sponsorship and just kind of segue into the hunt.
Honestly, it's like pretty simple. They called me up. Loophole did. Great people over there, by the way. They called me up and were like, "Hey, we like what you guys do. Do you want to go mule deer hunting?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do, definitely." And they're like, "All right, cool." And then they hung up the phone, and I was like, "All right, well, I'm going mule deer hunting. I don't know anything about it." Then it was like, "Okay, hey, this is where we're going. This is what you got to do. Let us know where you want to fly out of," which, I'm like, all right, Moline, which is our home airport. So that was like back in May. And I'm like, holy shit, I just booked a mule deer hunt. And I'm talking to them guys. I'm like, hey, so I guess rewind a little bit. They sent us some product after a phone conversation. The CEO called me. He was like, "Hey, you guys are hilarious. Love what you guys do. Like, that's our type of people. People normally look at us as just being a super high-end, expensive brand, but we're more than that. Like, we're good people. We have affordable products. We represent like the Americana of the hunter, which is true. Like, I've seen the factory, met the people there. It's insane." And then that mule deer hunt conversation followed. There's Michael Winicky called me. He's like, "I know we don't know each other, but you want to go mule deer hunting?" So I'm like, well, fuck yeah, So anyway, that was back in May. We get it all basically mapped out. And I'm like, hey, I got to at least bring my bow because they're, a rifle scope company, a bino, spotting scope, rangefinder. But, people know them for their rifle scopes. I'm like, hey, I'd like to bring my bow. And there's like, yeah, of course. Like, you're working class bow hunter. You got to bring your bow. So I figured I brought my bow out there, and once I get there, everyone's like, dude, these deer have been pressures. Like, bow season was in August. You're going to have a fucking hell of a time. Like, it's going to be near impossible for you to even get close to one right now. I'm like, well, okay, like, I'm open-minded if I have to pick up a rifle, but I want to try it with my bow. I hunted 4 days, hunted my ass off out in Oregon, eastern Oregon, hilly, rocky, a complete opposite of like what Illinois is, hunted my ass off. The third day I drew my bow back on a buck. He was at 40 and I had a doe bust me. She was way ahead of the rest of the group and she ended up getting behind me by the time I drew my bow. It's all on film. We have everything was recorded. So that'll all be out somewhere. I was with, I can never say his last name right. I was with Brandon Palaniuk. He's like one of the best bass fishermen in the world. And like one of the coolest dudes ever. He filmed me. He tagged out with his rifle first day. So he filmed me like the entire time. So we got that hunt on film and kind of just having that deer right there. We had elk that were at 60 yards bugling in our face right before the deer came in. That's all on film. And then the last full day of hunting, we wake up and I hadn't tagged. I was the only one in camp that hadn't tagged anything. So shot a rifle, tried it out. I actually really liked it. And we woke up and it was raining, like pouring rain. And we're like, oh, fuck, this isn't looking good. I'm kind of summarizing a little bit to speed up the story because I could drag it out, but it's not that interesting. So anyway, we go in, we trying to find a buck. It's raining. It's shitty. I'm dying at this point. It's just the whole trip. I'm just exhausted for an Illinois flatland boy to be running around in those hills. And then midday we got a break in the rain. I'm like, let's go try and find one. Did this big hike, got back in there. Seen a bunch of does feeding from the junipers from the break in the rain. Then we spotted my buck at, we were scouting, looking at the does. I'm like, oh shit, there's a buck right here bedded. He was like 275. And we're looking at him and I'm like, man, to be honest, at home, I would never shoot that deer. And they're like, yeah, but dude, you're in Oregon. Like, you're not going to pass that deer and come back next year. Like, you might not ever come mule deer hunting in Oregon again. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, he is a good buck. I was like, but I just wanted a bigger one, And then I'm like, you know what am I doing? I'm like him hauling around on like this possibly once in a lifetime opportunity for myself. And I looked at the guy, this is all on film too. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm shooting him. And then basically just set up and cracked him at 275 and rolled him. He went up over the hill and crashed, and it was awesome, man. It was a cool experience. I really enjoyed it, actually. I don't know if I'd ever rifle hunt at home, like in the Midwest, because that's not that appealing. But in that country out there, that big, wide, vast country, it's fun.
Hell yeah, man! You painted a good picture there. I could actually, just knowing you, or even being a listener of your show, and I can put myself in a listener's shoes and not really knowing you, but you guys do a good job of being relatable and kind of like you feel like you're already friends without even meeting you. So knowing how you are in your show,
Thanks,
I can really see you kind of going back and forth real quick and battling your own mind, and then just kind of reality kind of keeping you in check, like, fuck this shit, I'm gonna fucking kill this shit. And that's just, yeah, it's just awesome, man, because that's something that I mean, obviously us East Coasters, it's specifically Connecticut, it's like, yeah, we have some booners, but there's so much harder to find, and then there's like 65 deer per square mile, if not more, that it's like we're doing justice taking down some smaller rack deer. And the point I'm getting at is, like, if you're going out there to kill, go out there and kill shit,
Right. And I'm glad I did the way I did, because Lucas Burt, he's like the media director for Loopold, and Brandon was with us. Brandon was filming, Lucas was spotting, and I had them with me on the mountain. And it was like midday, like we got a break in the rain. We knew the rain was going to just start pouring on us if we didn't make a move and get off the mountain. And like the shots on film, it's actually really amazing footage. Brandon has like a $5,000 lens that he filmed it with, and he's got a ton of killer freaking shots of just me hunting and all that. That's going to be for like whatever Loopold wants to use it for, and just awesome video, and it's crazy. The production quality is nuts. And fun fact about Loopold, if you ever see any of their photos they post on social, anything in their catalog, anything video wise, 100% of their content, if it's like, say, example, like if you see a guy walking through a creek with a moose head on his back, like that actually did happen. They don't do any stage shots at all. It's kind of like their thing to catch things in the moment, rather than being like, okay, hey, this fake moose head's on your back, walk through the creek again for the fourth time, we got to get a better shot. Like, that does not happen with Loopold.
Right.
So all the crazy photos, I don't know what they're going to share, but when I look like I'm miserable climbing a mountain and sweating and looking like I'm not having any fun, like it's real. I'm not just like grimacing for the camera.
Yeah, you embrace the suck,
Yeah, exactly.
That's something I learned myself. Go ahead, Ryan. Should be. That's something that I learned the hard way too. Is just sometimes you just need to embrace the suck, because not every hunt is going to be fun. It just becomes fun once you get your opportunity, or you get to kind of sit there and experience the wild in certain manners, or depending on what you're hunting. But most of the time, it's just a fuck ton of hard work and a lot of sweat and tears and a lot of shitty experiences as far as, going against the grind,
Yeah, that type of fun, like I had a blast the entire time I was like on that hunt. Like the entire time I had so much fun. Didn't really want to come back to reality, even though how hard work it was. But it's way more fun now looking back on the hunt, because it sucked while it was happening. Yeah. So like if you hunt in a tree stand and it's like 0 degrees and you're freezing your nuts off and whatever, yeah, that sucks in the moment, but later when you're having a beer in your buddy's garage, you're like, dude, I sat out in the cold for 4 hours. It sucked. Goddamn, like in your head, you're thinking it was fun though.
Yeah,
it's more fun telling your buddies about how you did it than actually like in the moment.
Right. No, I dig it. And I mean, you've kind of started the hunting season with a bang, man. Can you bring us back to the pronghorn experience? Because I mean, right now you got how many critters you got down now? 4?
4, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you started off with a bang, and then you go
Thanks.
into a big banger with the muley, and then you come back home and you're just slaying shit, dropping them like it's hot, so to speak. You know?
Yeah. Well, back in. Fuck, my dates are mixed up. I think back in September, I went to South Dakota for some public land hunting with our boys at Buckstorm, and I got lucky, man. I'll be honest. Like, it was a good situation. We pulled it off. Like, took some finesse, but I got my first antelope on my second stalk the first day. So
nice.
They were pretty mad at me for shooting one that fast. Because they're like, dude, it never happens like this. What the fuck? And that's also on film too on Buckstorm's YouTube. So
that was a cool video they put out too. You've been friends with them for quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I'd say pretty much a year. Yeah, like the early episodes of our show. Like so what's funny how we met? We had Nick Munt on the show, like within our first 20 episodes or something. And they're from South Dakota, and Nick Munt's from South Dakota. So Jeremy listened to a lot of podcasts, and he looked up like South Dakota podcasts and found that one with Nick Munt on our show, and that's how he found us. And then he would just message me all the time after we do an episode, and then just ended up to be the point where it's like next thing I know, I'm like talking to this dude for like 2 hours about hunting and like what his game plan is. I'm like, oh yeah, I got this game plan. I'm going hunting this weekend. And then eventually it turned into, last year's like, let's go kill an elk. So we went on our elk hunt, and then right after our elk hunt, we're like, well, what are we doing next year? And then we planned this antelope hunt, and then after the antelope hunt, right now we're talking about what we're going to do this coming year. So
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. It'd be awesome to see you guys on a mountain lion hunt. Their production stuff is pretty rad. So, to get a little taste of the glory, all the way around, spread the critters around some.
Yeah. Definitely. It's fun. We podcast out there in South Dakota, and I don't know. We just have a good time. We really groove with those guys. They're it's weird because when I first met Jeremy in Colorado, he just met me at the trailhead. It was literally the first time I met him, and there's like zero awkward. You know what I mean? You think it might be like, dude, this dude sucks after all. Like, I don't want to hunt up here with him for 7 days. Yeah. Because that would suck.
Yeah, for sure.
But he was actually it was perfect. I felt like I've known him forever.
That's awesome, man. So what do you think was the hardest point on that type of hunt, man? Like the suck, embracing the suck, so to speak.
On the antelope?
Yeah.
Man, it's like a mixture. The heat sucks. The cactus sucks when you're trying to make a stalk and you're crawling through cactus. The rattlesnakes suck. And just antelope are not easy to get in close on with a bow, like spot and stalk. Like dude, you'll be making a stalk and then they take off. You're like, how do they even see me? Like, they can't, you know what I mean? You're trying to play the wind. You're trying to, like, imagine having the flattest area and you're trying to stalk an antelope and you got one bush that's 2 foot high and you're like, I'm going to use this bush as cover to get in close to try and shoot this thing. Like, that's what you do when you antelope hunt out there in certain areas. Or there's like a small divot or like there's a tiny little drainage. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get down in this low spot. It's not really a low spot. You have to use whatever the terrain has. That's like the suckiest part, but that's what makes it the most fun.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
And what kind of like shots? Like longer shots, obviously, right?
Yeah, I practiced at 70, 80, 90 because that's where I thought my shot was going to be.
Yeah, I saw you practicing at 100, and I was like, oh, geez. This ought to be good. Yeah, that's awesome.
And where'd you end up smacking them? How far?
50.
Nice. So that's a comfortable spot for you.
That's your 20 normally.
Yeah, no, it felt good. I felt confident in that. He was actually a little closer than 50, we think. So a lot of the problem with when you're trying to range them is the grass is really tall this year. So when you range them, you're catching grass. So it was like, oh, I don't know, I think he's 50. So I'm like, all right, 50. Well, actually, I shot him for 51 to just give myself another yard because I thought he was further. But we think he was at like 46, 47 in that range because I caught him high and rolled him. And then then for safe measure, I went in and put another arrow in him. So I think he was closer than 50.
Nice. Nice.
But on the footage, you can hear, you see me stand up and draw. You can see the antelope like in the distance, but you can hear the arrow smack and roll them. It's pretty cool.
That's badass, man. That's badass.
And Papa Dave was with you on that hunt also, right?
Yep. Then so I'm glad I tagged out the first day, and then we chased him down. My dad shot at a couple, and he had two jump the string. Man, like antelope are so fast. Like you always hear people like talk them up like I am, but the talk up is not a talk up. It's just how they are. Like we went on this one hunt or this one stalk. You can see the antelope bedded down at the bottom of this hill, and me and Jeremy are on the county road filming through a spotting scope of this antelope bedded. And my dad and Travis went up on top of the hill so they weren't, playing the wind. And they get on top of this hill and they sneak around. And we film my dad draw and shoot. When my dad launched the arrow, this buck was bedded facing away from him at 70 yards. When my dad shot, the antelope got up and jumped the string and stood up and turned around and watched the arrow hit behind him.
Jesus.
What the hell?
That's insane.
They're like ninjas, dude. It's you think you're like an exaggeration, but like a public land antelope that gets pressured like that often, they're just like on another level. It's crazy.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
I wonder if their little fucking horns are like intense. Because you know what? You're a measure too. So out of all the horns, those seem to shrink the fastest. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. You know what I mean? As far as like sensing. I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
It's a softer bone.
I just think they live in the open.
Yeah.
So they're always like, what the fuck? Oh, I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? Like their number one defense is their eyesight and their speed.
Right. They do have the bug eyes, like squirrel eyes and shit.
Yeah.
They're always on edge.
For sure.
Dude, they are. They're wiry little fuckers. They're cool though. Like, that was so much fun. I kind of want to do another antelope hunt next year. I like the way they look. I like that they're different. There's nothing else like them. The meat is the favorite wild game meat I've ever had.
They are delicious.
No shit.
I'm just fascinated by them. I don't know why. It's just one of those animals I just think are really cool.
That's dope. So, Ghost Hunter to my left right here, he's smacked a big bull elk before. And I kind of want to go back a little bit, if it's cool with you, with the buckstorm going on the elk hunt, because earlier, like you said, in the mule hunt, you're a flatlander climbing rocks and higher elevations and shit like that. And you guys actually did a podcast out there too, which that's probably my favorite thing when you hunt with buckstorm is the podcast, because it's so raw that it like fuck the audio quality, that content is everything. And I feel like that's like the high points of just being in it, being there in the camp and really experience what you're experiencing. So what I'm getting at is like, I kind of want to hear both your guys' perception, like, cause Ghost Hunter, he's done elk hunts quite a few times versus your first time, to kind of get a bounce back on people that have many questions. I think you guys can answer them all.
I mean, I've only elk hunted in Oregon. Actually, I went to Alberta Rockies one time when I was 18. That was a rough hunt. That was on horseback too. But I've been out into Oregon, Ukiah. I got a really good friend out there that's got a cattle ranch. And not many people hunt this property. And over the years, we realized that all the state land guys are, every time Dick and Harry's calling at them, bugling at them, chasing them, and they push herds and herds and herds of elk onto this guy's property. So not a lot of rain over the last 10 years consistently that we hunt. So we get these wallows and these water holes, and we tree stand hunt them. They're in the rut, and these huge bulls have to come in and drink eventually. Like they just they have to. So I don't do a lot of running and gunning like you guys do, especially like antelope hunting is just it's another level. I've never even tried to do it. I've seen them. They're like Alabama deer. I don't know if you ever hunted in Alabama after dog season. A deer sees you, they'll run for a fucking mile and not even stop and look at you. It's gnarly.
Yeah.
But do you ever hunt down in Alabama after dog season? It's stupid.
I never have, but I can guarantee. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh,
it's just like the most pressure a whitetail could be.
I seen them walking in riverbeds and swamps because they literally don't want dogs cutting tracks of these things. It's gnarly. But I would think that the elk hunting that I do is very unorthodox to other people because you showed them at tree stands? Like, yeah, every elk I shot was out of a tree stand. And it blows.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it blows people's mind. I got some footage of some. I can't wait to dig it up. And it's from like an old Nokia phone, but it was fucking a 360-inch bull at 52
That's
yards.
awesome.
Yeah, man. And it was.
That's funny you say that because the whole time I was talking about that too when I was out in Oregon. I'm like, dude, I bet you if I put a stand there, like I wished the one item I wish I would have brought with me was a tree stand.
It's honestly, I don't think anyone should ever overlook bringing a climber, bringing a hang and bang, bringing a custom, lone wolf, because it gives you those edges. These animals, when it's hot and they need to drink, they're gonna go to fucking water.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
that makes sense.
You pick the wind, you get the right spot, and we do all day hunts. I mean, we're walking 3 miles in. This isn't like we're getting dropped off. This is not a guided hunt. My buddies drive out there. They take 3 weeks. We do some presets. And, elk are very skittish creatures. They don't want people in their area. I don't know if you ever seen, but like they say you push them out, they're gone for a month. Like they're not coming back. They're not a whitetail. They're not going to run 100 yards and stop and then just figure shit out. They don't like people. But,
right.
So tell me about like your hunting in Oregon. Like you do a lot of ground and pound for elk out there.
I hunted them in Colorado.
Oh, it's Colorado.
And we were up high. And we were in northern Colorado, and God, the fall downs there were so bad from like the beetle kills and like previous fires and stuff like that. So it was just a brutal hunt, but we basically just tried to locate them with our bows, and we got in on one. I kind of got not robbed because it's just whatever it is, but we had a wildfire cut us short, so like they kicked everybody off the trailhead.
Oh, jeez.
So, and we were dialing too, like we were on one, like we were set up. My dad were on each side of Jeremy while he's calling, and we'd hear the bull just on the other ridge, like just they're noisy as hell when they move around. And then it got dark on us, so we had to head back down the mountain. So we were like getting that close, like we have found the bull, and we were getting ready to dial in. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, yeah. Northern Trailhead's closed, so everybody was forced into one area. So we left and went to another area and started to basically had to start our hunt from scratch again.
Damn, I forgot about that. That's got to be killer because especially when you're winding down like that, it's almost like not to compare. The best comparison, I guess, as far as calling would be turkey, but it's definitely not like a turkey hunt. Again, I found that out the hard way hunting the mini elk, but it's just one of those things. They're so elusive and being such a big animal. And I don't know from experience, but just from like hearing you, Curt, and the stories from Ghost Hunter here, it seems like one of the harder big animal hunts for sure.
Like when you hear an elk glunking and bugling and you think he's 50 yards, he's really 100. That's how loud these fucking things are. And you're
crazy,
up,
man.
My first year ever hunting for elk, I mean, I was locked on, ready to go, and he's screaming, my heart's pounding, and he steps out and he's 90 yards. I thought he was underneath my tree. It's like, it's a different...
Yeah, we had before the buck that I got to draw back on, I kind of like patterned him when I was in this pinch point, and me and Brandon are behind this juniper. And I hear walk, and I'm like, you hear something? He's like, oh, shit, there's a bunch of elk out there. And they were up on the mountain, and they were heading our way, like coming through this pinch point that I found. I'm like, and I knew that deer were down. There was a hayfield down below that they were going to work their way up that pinch, which is why we were set up there. I'm like, dude, they're going to push these deer out of here. and they were just in front of the deer. Because then we saw the deer out on the same like mountainside below the elk, and I'm like, oh shit. So the elk came through, and we had to be all still, and it was cold that morning. And that one bull was like 60, 70 yards bugling right in my face. It was amazing. Like I could have shot him easy. And then the deer came in right after that. So I was all sorts of like shook up and everything.
That's a morning, huh?
Yeah. It was cool, man. It was really cool. I've never had an elk that close, like bugling at me. But it's, my perception's different. Like, yeah, I hunted in Colorado on like heavily pressured public, and it was really difficult. But there, well, one, my mindset was on deer, so I was like, all right, cool, elk, get the fuck out of here. Like, I want to kill a deer. So, like, I didn't appreciate it as much as, I don't know, like, I'm just so focused on getting the mule deer. But I don't know. Personally, I think bow hunting a mule deer in that, like, mountainous terrain would be harder than an elk hunt, because a mule deer doesn't bugle. So,
right.
Like, you have to go find him. Versus, like, if you get lucky and hear the elk or whatever, then you're like, all right, I can kind of pinpoint this. But like a big mule deer that's up in those rocks and stuff, man, they just like disappear. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just a good experience all around. I had a ton of fun. But it's cool, man, seeing like the Western game. And honestly, when I got back to Illinois and sit in the stand like the first hour, I was like, this sucks. I was like, I want to walk around and shit, you know?
It's funny you say that, because I kind of want to backtrack and rewind on the hanging a stand for elk. Our boys out in Montana, that's how they do it out there. Brad Martin and all the boys and gals out there from Spy High mounting system. That's how they do it. They kind of scout around, check for wallows and watering holes, and they set up their stands there along with their trail cams, and that's how they hunt them. They don't do spot and stalk. They're in a tree. So that's cool to hear that perspective. And Curt, I can only imagine you like, this would be perfect spot for a stand. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He's hanging stands, Curt.
Yeah.
Honestly, right, man. I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, I wish I had my setup. Yeah. Like I was like, I put in that tree right there.
Would you do that again? Like, because obviously, I'm pretty sure you're going to do that again. Would you bring a stand with you this time around?
It depends. If I was driving, yes. If I was flying, it's just
that's tough.
A pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's tough. So
I was stressed out enough taking my bow on a flight, let alone other shit. So
actually, that's a good topic, man. Let's get your experience, because surprisingly, this Mexican gets much more headaches through airports for my fishing rod versus a bow. But how was your experience traveling with a bow? Because this is a hot topic a lot of the times, because it can go either way.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues. Mine went really smooth, but I was kind of stressing. I called all my buddies that like have TV shows and hunt for a living. I'm like, hey, what do you do? Like, how do you set it up? And I got every answer from, oh yeah, the cheap Flambeau cases at Walmart. Yeah, I put it in that and it ships fine. And I'm like, oh shit, really? And then guys have like the fancy ass SKBs. They tuck them in there. I put mine in the Scent Crusher, Pro Series bow transporter. So it's like a bow case with like a luggage spot on top. And I put it in that, and it's a big ass. It's a big bag. And my bow is actually too long to actually fit in the bow part on the bottom. So I put it up in like the luggage clothing part on top. And then I put my arrows in the bow part on the bottom. And then I crammed all my hunting clothes on top of my bow. So I had like a cushion on top and below it. And it was fine.
Nice.
I just buried it and wrapped like anywhere where I had like a cable or like my rest or my peep. I wrapped like a sock around it. Like you know what I mean? All my merino wool boxers and stuff, I put it around my sight housing, put it around my peep, put it on each end of my cams. Like anything that could get banged around, I had it tucked in with clothing.
Nice.
And it was fine. It was fine on the way there, and it was fine on the way back.
Now, do you go as far as like kind of calling ahead to the airport and declaring your weapon before you go there, or you just kind of show up with it?
I just showed up. Nice. And I was like, hey, I'm going to Oregon to kill some shit. Like, put this in there.
How'd that go?
No, I didn't get any. I didn't have any grief at all. It was really, really painless.
That's awesome.
Cool, man. Yeah, because I've heard all different types of angles and stories and stuff like that. Like coming out of Connecticut, it's such a liberal state that flying out of Bradley, it's wise as far as flying out of here or into here. It's wise to declare it. You know what I mean? That like, hey, there's gonna be a weapon. But I was just curious on that.
Who would ever come here hunting, anyways?
We hunt here all the time. I don't know.
Definitely not Andre DeQuisto again.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard that or not.
What's that?
No.
You guys didn't catch it. I'll tell you later when we get to that part.
Okay. Actually, I think I heard a little bit of it. This is going to be a little bit of a hard transition, but it'll segue into what the main reason why we kind of wanted you to come on. So, why East Coast Bowhunting Podcast? Like, because we get a lot of feedback all the way around. You know, now from time to time we share a lot of listeners now. You know, a lot of our listeners found you guys through our podcast and vice versa, which is really cool because we're all like under that same umbrella, under your umbrella rather. So like we get some emails, hey, these guys ride WCB's coattail, but they don't really know why. I mean, for one, you're our title sponsor, so it makes sense. And then not only that, we always say we're kind of a product. Well, we are a product of WCB. You know, it's you guys helped out a fuck ton, especially you, Curt. And why did you decide to kind of go out of your way? And then we could segue into why you're really here on the show today.
Are you saying I go out of my way to like help you guys get your show going?
Yeah, like and even, you know, to sponsor the show too, you know?
No, I just felt like you guys are coming from a different angle, being like so East Coast focused, which, you know, I've always said like that's where you guys are going to grab the most listeners and like put out the best content is because I don't know. I'm from the Midwest, so, and I'll be honest with you, like just being not trying to be offensive, but just straight up, like I don't think about anything east of Ohio. Like, honestly, it's not on my radar. I would say for most people in the Midwest, nobody gives a fuck about hunting the East Coast. Like, just being honest, like, it's not interesting. You guys we have Midwestern whitetails, and all of our dreams are west. Right. You know, like, west of the Mississippi. That's where we want to go.
Unless you want to hunt some fucking fucked up shit, though, right? Well, what I'm specifically saying, like, bow fishing's unreal over here. If you want some exotics, we got like Sika deer out here. Just shit like that. Moose, bears. You know? Yeah, bears.
Yeah, there is that, but like the West has bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like the West has bigger moose.
Yeah.
The West has bigger elk. Yeah. The West has even bigger whitetail. Like, but so where I'm going with this, I'm not trying to be offensive. What I'm saying is, so for the people that are in that segue that Midwestern people don't think about, everyone's like, what about us? Like, you watch a hunting show, you know, you watch a hunting show, it's like, yeah, we're in Iowa. Yeah. And, you know, and they're like, nobody wants to go to out east except for Eastern people are like, where's my section of content? Because honestly, like if you guys were like, we're basically just a whitetail hunting podcast and you guys didn't like clarify, like we're East Coast proud, it'd be like, why do I, no offense, but like hear me out here. I'm trying to make a good point. I'm giving you a compliment.
No, of course.
I'm fucking cringing over here.
Like, why do I want to listen to dudes from Connecticut talk about killing big deer?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're from the East Coast, you're like, this is what I was born and raised on. This is why it's good. This is why it's, you know what I mean? It's like wholesome for those people even more.
Appreciate that, man.
You know, especially like, I mean, I'm not saying like your hunting sucks. It's just different.
The amount of deer and trophies, and for what it's worth, it's a little bit different on spectrum from
right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know,
we don't have a lot of 150s running around. Like they're here. They're just not in the numbers, and the big woods that we have too. We don't have these big fields that get cut and these pinch points and these funnels you guys really have. I mean, you're out west is bred to just kill giants.
Right.
We just don't get me wrong. I love this state. I'm going to hunt here for the rest of my life. but it's hard.
Well, to go back to what Curt said,
it sucks.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks in the fact that the terrain you're hunting. I mean, even to see a nice 120s 8-pointer is a fucking monster out here, out in the mountains, and your shooting lanes are like very minimal in these tight spots that you're hunting, and then it really tests you as a hunter though, because you're truly hunting sign only in all these fucking mountain goats. Where, Trev?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to piggyback kind of what Curt is saying is that, I mean, the people from the Midwest, they probably don't give a fuck about coming to hunt out here, but they seem to be like very intrigued
right?
With
Curious.
the type of hunting or what's actually going on and how we actually do different techniques and so on and so forth, because it is so different. But we were talking about it today on social media, is that you can't here in the East Coast, like, you can't hunt without outside of your means. Like, and what I mean by that is, like, if there's not fucking big deer, you can't kill big deer here.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know?
And let me say this too, is like, by saying that, I guarantee it, like, I could pull one of you guys and put you in a stand here in Illinois, and I can't promise that you'll see a buck over 125.
Right.
Your chances here are a lot better than they are there. I can promise you that. But you could hunt out here for 3 weeks and not see a buck worth shooting. A lot of times, like, I hustle my ass off out here. Between my dad and I, we hustle and hunt hard and hang stands. We're mobile. We're after it. We might get one opportunity a year.
Right.
At a big buck. And if you blow it, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes a little more. You know, we have 2 buck tags. Last year, I tagged out. I had an exceptional year. This year, hunting in Illinois, I have not seen a buck over 100 inches.
Wow.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's hunting.
It's
the chances are, but I'm out here in Illinois that I could sit there and then a 180 walks in this weekend and I double lug them at 20 yards.
Fuck yeah.
That could happen. But I also might just see bucks that are 100 inches, and that's just what it is. You can't guarantee anything.
And that's the same. And that's the same here. Like, but there's not that many. There's not as many, or the genetics aren't there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, the
like,
genetics aren't quite there, but yeah, I don't want to.
I still feel like we all get our shot,
Yeah.
though. I got a shot last year. I mean, I got a shot the year before that. I just screwed that one up. You know, I feel like we get our chances here. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
We do get our licks. It's just a matter if you capitalize or not.
But we get what you're trying to say, Curt, and we really appreciate that, man. And that's the real of it, man. It's just we're a big. The best way I could put it, we're under that umbrella, and so for people that may get confused on why we do drop WCB is because, I mean, shit, that's a part of the big family, you know, the brotherhood and our circle of friends that we're trying to expand, actually. So, quick shout out to the West Coast. I mean, between you and I and everyone here, we have quite a few friends out in the West Coast. It's just we're really trying to narrow down the realest of the real, and the sense of, you know, just being good people, you know, and really doing justice for the hunting industry itself to make it better. But again, this segue is perfect for what we're trying to get at is the DeQuisto series. I really want let's start from the beginning, because it seems like Cody always wanted to have, not necessarily have a podcast, but he always had fun doing them. How did that idea even come up between doing the DeQuisto series? Because just to be clear, that is kind of like a branch series off of WCB as well, right?
Yeah. So I won't go into like full detail, but Cody and I are good friends. Became really good friends since, I mean, me and Cody have talked since like last year, over a year. And then we ended up meeting, kind of hit it off, as like realized we have a ton in common, like personality wise, style wise, and hunting wise, and podcast a couple times, and basically we just became good friends. So, after a lot of other business things that has kind of happened on my end and business things that have happened on Cody's end and one with Custom Gear, we got to talking about podcasting, and then basically just came up to be like, hey, let's start a series. And what we'll do is, instead of starting from square one with the DeQuisto series podcast, let's just integrate the audio into the Working Class Bowhunter platform, and then we'll do a video podcast on Lone Wolf Custom Gear YouTube. And we kind of talked about like, well, what would we do? What do we call it? How do we go about it? So basically, after brainstorming for a while, and like we went through logo ideas and all that stuff, and basically it just was kind of morphed into this deal to where it's myself, Andre DeQuisto, and Cody DeQuisto are the hosts. I'm more like the narrator, trying to come from the listener's perspective to try and tap into the knowledge that Andre and Cody have. I'm learning very quickly that it is very challenging to try and get their level of knowledge and skills. It's really difficult to get them to break down for the listener how they do their stuff, because to them the shit we're asking is obvious. So it's fun for me and a challenge, and it really challenges your hosting skills when you have two of the best whitetail hunters ever, or alive, I guess I should say, and then you try to get them to explain from step one how to kill a big deer. It's almost like step one's so common and obvious to them that they shouldn't have to explain it. So trying to get them to explain it is difficult and fun, and it makes for, I think, some good content.
That's pretty dope, man. That's pretty dope. So, I mean, what was the, I guess, initial idea of like, hey, we should just do this and keep rolling with it? Was it his, I guess, his desire to be podcasting, or because obviously, not to put you on a pedestal, but this is easy to you now. This is like kind of riding the bike, so to speak. So, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how does the future look? Let me ask that. How does the future look in the DeQuisto series?
Oh, it looks good. We have, in my opinion, endless amount of content, endless amount of directions we could go. So people that were confused about it, for anyone listening that wants to check it out. So let me just clarify this, and then I'll talk about like where it's going, because there still is some confusion. If you don't follow Lone Wolf Custom Gear on like Facebook, Instagram, or Working Class Bowhunter Podcast on Facebook or Instagram, we try and lay it out like when an episode's going to drop. So right now, we launched the first episode. We launched the first episode late September, and that was kind of like an intro, little bit of background. Episode 2 we launched October 1st, opening day, and that's Andre's story. Episode 3 we dropped, I think early last week. I can't remember, but that's all about October hunting. So from now on, what we're going to do until springtime, and then we're going to regroup and decide how we're going to do it. But for now, the DeQuisto series podcast airs twice a month. So we're going to do 2 episodes in November, 2 episodes December, 2 episodes January, and then basically the trade show season starts. But for right now, we're doing that because hunting's more important than podcasting, to be brutally honest. So we're all hunting really hard. So we are not going to podcast again for the next 2 episodes for probably a few weeks now. And then we'll get them out when we can in November, because we're out there to hunt, and that's what we do, and the content and the media and all this other shit is just secondary. But the goal is one of us kills something, we do a podcast right then and there about it, tell the story, the breakdown, and then dive into some listener questions, because it's a high level podcast series. You know, you're tapping into 2 of the most knowledgeable hunters ever that learned everything they know from their own experiences. Like, it's to them, those are facts. There's no opinions on this or that or whatever. It's what they know is what they know. They didn't hear it from the podcast somewhere else because they don't fucking listen to them. So it's pretty cool.
That is pretty dope. And that kind of brings me back to the the balance, because doing a recap of what we've been talking about up until now, you have, you just kind of settled into your new crib. You've been hunting hard right off the rip. Now you're, now this year specifically, it's very important to you. You have a lot of highs this year, and it seems like it keeps on getting higher. How do you find that balance with, family, hunting trips, more podcasts, different series? Like everyone, including myself, is like, how do you keep everyone happy and everything rolling? Like, what's your secret for that?
There's not, man. Not everybody's happy. So see, that's like, honestly, like it's like you said earlier in the intro, like there's a lot of people that I kept like regular contact with lately with all this shit going down that I'm like, one, I kind of step back like on purpose. Like I'm still active on social media. Like obviously like we still post and I still try to interact, but I've just backed way off of it. And I just haven't, like now, especially hunting season's going, like there's people that I used to try and catch up with weekly that I haven't talked to since before my antelope hunt. And it's just, I'm busy. I got so much shit going on. I'm like one track minded. I got to tackle one thing, get that done. Then I can move on to the next thing. And honestly, man, it's like, it's one of those things where, if I would just won't go hunting to stay at home with my daughter and hang out with Sam and Isla. That's what I did Saturday. I hunted Saturday morning and came back and hung out with the fam, and we went out and did some stuff and did the same thing Sunday afternoon. I could have hustled all day and hunted and tried to kill a deer. I wanted to, but I also had a ton of fun with my family. It's just a balance, you know. I don't feel that if I didn't go antelope hunting and didn't go mule deer hunting and I was just focused on getting a whitetail, it might be a little different, you know. But it's just one of those things you got to balance. Otherwise, like I can't have my wife mad at me. You know, I want to hang out with my daughter, even though I want to podcast every night and crank out like 5 podcasts a week. That'd be cool. But it is what it is, you know. If listen, I mean, our listeners get it, man. We're a working class, you know. We're not promising we're going to crank out 5 episodes a week. So they get it, man. Everybody has a life, but it's tough, dude. It's tough. There's some people that get mad at you because you haven't had that conversation with them in 2 weeks. They're like, well, it's Kurt's deal. Like,
yeah,
nothing.
they think
fucking
past
busy.
it. Yeah, they think a little too much into it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially with social media, like it's easy to be like, well, he's doing this, but he doesn't talk to me. I'm like, well, I'm trying to get some shit done, you know?
Right, exactly.
Trying to live my life.
Shit, and the reason I bring it up, and you just said so yourself, you know, like, you can't have Sam mad at you. It's like, right now, Sandra kind of is a little upset with me because I just got back from Maryland. I'm back for 3 days, and then I leave for Ohio, and you know, we're recently married and shit, and so it's one of those things. And we do the calendar system, you know. She puts an X on the days that I can't do shit, and then Sundays always family day in our household. But I've been missing the past couple family days, so it's like. It's just one of those things, keeping that balance. And I put the circles on the days I'm going hunting, but this is the tough part. And balance is like, this is the best advice that me personally I could give to anyone out there in a relationship or trying to keep everyone happy is focus the at-home life first. You know, make sure that's like your shit's in order before you leave. You know, if you could do your part, even if you're not good at it, try to clean up, do some laundry or whatever, just to show an effort that, hey, you're not just going to fucking get up and go and then, hey, see you later, you know, because that's tough, man, because we all have a passion, a chase, and a dream, and in order to do it, it is a sacrifice, and that's the main reason I bring it up, because everyone has their story, and the balance is probably the hardest thing about hunting, is finding that balance, man.
For sure. Yeah, because... you know, hunting takes a lot of time. Like you're not going to go out and kill one in 5 minutes. I mean, some people do, but it doesn't happen for me like that. So, you know, it's days and weekends are full, weeknights are full. It's, but you know, too, like my wife gets hunting, like it's part of her life because it's so much a part of mine. So she understands it. So like starting this coming weekend, or at least after Halloween is when I'll really, I mean, this weekend I'm going to hunt hard. I'm out of vacation time, so I'm not going to be gone that much because I burn it all off and then some when I was in Oregon. But like my weekends and weeknights, like starting late this week, are hunting, and that'll go on for, I mean, pretty much till Thanksgiving, really heavily. But then, you know, then I got to get back, and then I'm pulling way back. So that's I think about hunting all year long. I get my solid heavy month in the hunt, and then my hunting becomes more casual after that. It's just kind of what you have to do. As much as like, if I, you know, if it was up to me, I'd hunt, but I also want to hang out with my wife and hang out with my kids and have fun and relax sometime. Because hunting for me, I take it so seriously that in the moment I'm having a good time, but it's a ton of work. So sometimes it is nice to kind of just kick it and you know, whatever. There's guys out there that are like, I miss birthdays and holidays and fucking all this. It's like, fuck you, you know? Like, I get it. Like, you want to be hardcore, but, you know, when
how
you got to do
hardcore
what you got to
can
do.
you really be?
Yeah, it's the same dudes that say they walked 25 miles on Illinois public land. I'm like, bitch, show me a spot that you can walk 25 miles. Nothing that deep. You know, it's the same dudes. They're trying to portray like this badass. I don't know. You gotta take care of your family, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I couldn't agree more there, man. Family first, then hunting. You know.
Yeah,
that's probably.
Like I told Sam. Sorry,
no,
I didn't
go
mean
ahead.
to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Like I told Sam last night, I'm like, I was like, I got a mule deer buck down, I got an antelope buck down. Like, I had 2 buck tags in Illinois. I'm like, I'm gonna hunt hard for one whitetail buck, and then if I get that, like, I'm gonna pull way back and hang out, and I'll still hunt, but I'm not gonna be like so gun ho about it. Like, I'm still gonna hunt hard, but I'm not gonna be like zoning off in the corner, like mapping out a game plan in my head, which I'm doing right now all the time because I'm trying to get on a buck, like a specific buck right now. So like, I'll be at work spacing the fuck out, thinking about how I'm going to tackle it when I'm off work,
Yep. Oh yeah.
So it just, your mindset changes a little bit. It kind of like it adjusts into a different setting.
Yeah, and getting some critters down early season definitely kind of keeps the pressure off a bit, and like let it. Honestly, that's what I've experienced personally is because I'm not a very experienced whitetail hunter, but from what I've learned specifically this season is just getting those early kills in now is like, okay, you could kind of sit back and get your mind right to focus on that one. You know what I mean? That one you've been chasing.
Yeah, as long as your pressure is the correct type of pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing it because you personally want to do it, not because you want to post a picture on like social media or something like that. Like,
Correct.
Like my pressure is internal, personal pressure. Like, I don't give a fuck about posting a deer picture on social media because I don't do it for that. Right. So like my pressure is like in my head, I want to accomplish my goal because I don't have goals anywhere else. Like I have, regular goals, but I'm not passionate about those goals. Like hunting is my passionate goal that I think about all the time to kind of take. Like, I want to get a bigger buck every year, Like, you want to set that goal. Like, kill a bigger buck than I've ever killed this year. That's always, like, the goal. But, like, if you can't find that, like, your property might not have that deer, then the goal is, like, okay, I found this deer, now I got to try and get ahead of them, which is kind of where I'm at right now. So, it's just I don't know. It's cool how you can map it out. It's the mental game coming back.
It really is, man. And speaking about goals, do you have any kind of future goals left for this year as far as like different types of hunts, or you're just going to focus on Illinois, Iowa area?
Yeah, just Illinois. I don't have any time to go anywhere else. My job's kind of mad at me.
Yeah,
so
I hear that.
I went to Oregon, was like deuces, and showed back up when I got back. So, but I don't know, just whitetails.
Nice.
I got mapping out a few game plans to try and get ahead of a buck and see what we can figure out here. All the crop's still in here, so it's pretty tough right now, but we're going to figure something out this weekend, I hope.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So I guess the few things that I have before we're winding down and stuff is, because I want to be sensitive to your time and your time with your family especially, is the Lone Wolf Custom Gear saddle platform that Trev and I got to see it firsthand, and we held it in our hands at the WCB shoot. That's pretty surreal, and it's definitely another game changer to the arsenal for the big timber. Can you kind of break it down real quick from what you know, as far as like what I noticed? First off, it's a bigger style platform, but way tinier than any kind of hang-on stand out there. What sets it apart from the rest?
Honestly, I'm not a big saddle platform guy, but I'll tell you, like, from my perspective and my thoughts on it, I've stood on it and kind of jacked around with it a little bit. I think it's a huntable size platform. It's one of those. It's not a platform where you're sitting, you have to sit in a saddle and put your weight on the saddle, and then your feet are kind of resting on the edge of this platform. Like, you could stand upright on this platform and feel comfortable and give your body a rest and let loosen all the pressure points that some saddles might cause for some people, and actually be effective in it and comfortable in it. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, comfort's number one, because if you're uncomfortable, you can't sit for very long. So It's got foot room. It's the right size. The mini sticks can grommet right to the platform, which is insane. It works together as a system, as a tool to kill animals. It's the number one tool. So the stand and the platform, or the stand and the saddle platform. It's a system. So if you apply it, it's good and it's comfortable and effective, man. It's really just the basic breakdown of it. I just think it's better. It's a better size. I've jacked around with a couple different saddle platforms, and we've broken a couple of them just by fucking around with them. And this stand, you don't have to worry about it. You can trust your life standing in it at 25, 30 foot up in a tree.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. The one thing that stood out to me the most that I saw holding it and stuff and really examining it is the adjustability to just, you can hang it on any type of tree, because it's one of those things like that's huge in the saddle hunting world, that it's lightweight and you don't hunt a tree, you hunt a spot, and that's huge, and that's exactly what this tackles and all the features that it has. What do you got, Trev?
I just got a quick question. So, like, with the Lone Wolf custom platform, can you also step onto the sides of it also? Like you would any others?
On the Gusto Series 1.0, like the tree stand?
No, on the saddle.
The Cunards? Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can, but you don't need to. You could. You definitely could. You can lean off it.
Yeah, and I'm just asking just so the people that are listening to it, because a lot of them are saddle hunters. So it can be used like a other platform, because like you're saying that you can stand on it like.
Yep, so. For sure. And they even have like on the top would be like what would be the upright. There's also like an angled footrest. So if you want to put your 1 foot down on the platform and then your 1 foot up on the upright to kind of give your knees a break and get comfortable, it's really nice actually. There's just the little features that Lone Wolf Custom Gear has kind of added to their stand and the saddle platform. It's just next level. And I think that a lot of people, especially in like online forums, that are hating just because of whatever reason they're hating, because they want to fucking go with the competitor's brand and talk shit to talk shit. People like choosing sides. That's like with human nature. We want to be on a team somewhere. So it's just what they do. But I think after this season and then following season, people are going to realize and wake up like all these little features that some people laughed at are really, really beneficial and really make a huntable, comfortable stand, because anybody can make a stand that's 2 pounds, and we'll be honest, it's a Chinese piece of shit. How comfortable is it going to be to actually sit in it? What matters the most is being comfortable and sitting in the stand, to put time in the stand to kill a buck. If it's not comfortable, you can't sit in it. So huntability is a huge factor. Even with weight, like that's why guys like the big mesh seats and the big comfy stands with the footrest. Like those stands are comfortable. You could sit in that all day long, and your chances of sitting in that stand all day long are better at killing a buck than sitting in some little Chinese-made stand that everybody's ranting and raving around in forums. It's got holes drilled every 1/4 inch on it. If you can't hunt out of it, what's the fucking point? Yeah, it's light to carry in there, but what are you going to do when you're in there? You know what I'm saying? So
you got to give up that.
It's just. It's just basic stuff. Like you have to be able to hunt out of it. If a ladder stand is your stand of choice, if you sit in that stand more hours than a guy that can barely sit in it his little hang on, your chances are better. Like it's just one of those things. Like my chances are better if I'm hunting right now than sitting in this studio podcasting. So maybe that's a bad way to put it, but huntability is a major factor.
Right.
I think that's overlooked. Like, yeah, it's light. That's cool. Yeah, I get you guys want to tinker with that, but huntability is important, and I think the custom gear stand's got a good mixture of both.
I can agree. And then specifically, the East Coast team's been saddle hunting a lot more this year, and that's what's so intriguing about that platform specifically, is because the huntability of it. Because there's so many different methods of doing it, and I want to kind of backtrack to that little footrest feature that you bring up, because especially in saddle hunting, there's certain angles. Sometimes you're kind of wedging your knee on the tree trunk to get that certain angle so you get good form on your shot, whereas you guys do the one up. And I say you guys because obviously you work with Cody a lot. you do the one up and have that little footrest, which I really think is a big game changer to any platform out there because none of them have that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just.
And I'm not like a big saddle guy. I think it's an awesome, effective way to hunt. I think it's cool, man. It is intriguing because it's light and it fits in your back, and you can wear your saddle in, and the platforms are small. It's awesome, but I don't have near as much experience as a lot of other guys using them. What I know is from what I've messed around on a tree in a yard, honestly. But I can see how it's effective.
I mean, and honestly, that's why I was asking about the saddle platform was for the reason that I'm chomping at the bit to buy one. Because, honestly, being a bigger dude, it's tough for me. I mean, I'm fucking 6 foot, 280 pounds. So my fat ass on some little...
You're 280 now?
No, I'm probably less than that.
Shabeen.
Yeah, Shabeen.
No, I'm less than that. Probably 260. But anyways, me being on these little fucking tiny little platforms and whatever the case may be, it's tough sitting. Like today I sat for 6.5 hours and it was not fucking easy. So when with you saying that with the platform being bigger and being able to relief off of the saddle, I think that's going to be like a huge game changer for me, and I'm so glad to hear that. Because
that too, and it's like even big guys, it's a big factor. But like imagine, like I have really thick insulated boots for late season hunting, big rubber boots. Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice to have a little bigger spot to, put your boot if you have to, especially on a tree stand, whatever. And another thing too is like this isn't a sand cast platform. This is a machined aluminum platform, so that's a big factor there too. It's
light
up a little better and stronger.
Yeah, I can't wait to try that out.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah, I mean we've been trying a whole bunch of stuff, just like anything. I mean we recommend everyone to try everything out there, whatever you could get your hands on, anyways, because you're going to find out the truth of it and what really works and what doesn't. Like you said so earlier, Kurt, I mean, you've been tinkering around with other platforms and some of them just blowing apart and shit. And the same goes with anything out there. You don't want Chinese shit. You want shit that's strong and works.
For the record, anybody thinks it's like we didn't break a platform. We didn't break the platform, but we broke the. I'm drawing a blank on what you'd even call it. It'd be like the what grips the tree on the platform, like
the teeth of it.
Yeah, the teeth of it.
Yeah. But yeah, man.
So,
I mean, that's important news, though. I mean, that's crucial because I mean, shit. If it ain't gripping, that's your life on the stand.
Yeah. Not that I think that you'd fall from that, like being in the saddle platform, but man, it would scare the shit out of you.
Oh, for sure.
Hell yeah. Hey, Kurt, I know you've done a fuck ton of these because you've been here on the show quite a few times. I know you have a new ninja tip because you have new experiences and stuff like that. What's your most up-to-date recent ninja tip for hunting or even life hacks in general?
Oh, fuck. I wasn't prepared for this.
Perfect. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Man, I'll say like my recent mindset. Man, I feel like I've said this one before, though.
That's right. We could recap on it. Not everyone started from episode 1. I hope not, because our first episode sucked. But
so my mindset lately is because I haven't been finding a lot of bucks signed. I got a couple good bucks on camera, so I'm trying to get it around in front of one specific one. So basically, I have some ideas on where I'm going to go, but I also want to try some new spots where I hunt. So like this weekend, I'm basically just going to go in and like not overthink something and go for something and go in and just try and absorb information from what I see and then make a game plan from that. And I think maybe sometimes people are more hesitant of trying something like that without actually like knowing in their head what they think is going to happen. But I feel like if you're open-minded and to trying new things like that, it can really help you out into learning more about an area you're hunting or a specific deer that you're hunting. So my ninja tip would be don't be afraid to just try something and look ahead because you might really learn more out of that for success than you thought you would have.
Word. Shabeen.
Hell of a ninja tip.
It is, man. It is. That's the most current relevant ninja tip right there for sure.
Bringing it to the basics.
Yep. That's what it is, man. So, Kurt, I mean, is there anything other that you want to kind of just shout out there or any kind of like something you want to touch base on before we wrap it up here tonight?
I think there's probably something, but I'm like not thinking of it. I'd say just check out the DeQuisto Series podcast, One with Custom Gear, YouTube and the video, or just our Working Class Bowhunter podcast feed. And then look for the Oregon mule deer hunt episodes coming out here soon. We have a hunting camp one. Well, I don't know when this episode's dropping, but we have a hunting camp one, like kind of a BS Oregon hunt camp one, and then we have a long full hunt story podcast coming that could be one really long podcast or a couple parts that we're going to do, and that's also going to double release on the Loopholed Core podcast. So 3 podcasts to check out: the DeQuisto Series podcast, Working Class Bowhunter podcast, and the Loopholed Core podcast.
Dope. So that brings us to our closing segment. Hit it, Ryan. Curt Geier, Working Class Bowhunter. What rattles your antlers currently right now? What gets under your skin, man?
Don't take this as our conversation the other day, D-Rock, but I've poor trophy photos.
Right.
Lately, that I've been bothered by it because tis the season right now, you know.
Yep.
That's like probably my number one. But it doesn't bother me. Like I don't go to bed like fucking trophy photos. It's just something I wish more people would improve on for lots of reasons.
So what's your prototypical clean depictate your perfect trophy photo? Like what should a hunter do for a good kind of not overbearing trophy photo?
I would say if you can help it, and sometimes not everyone's situation can help it. Like, for example, if you kill one way back and you don't have your phone or you don't have a camera and you don't have and you have to like get it out the way you got to get it out.
Or you're
like,
getting eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Yeah, or whatever. Well, say you have to quarter a deer and you didn't have anything to take a photo, then your situation changes drastically by the time you're to a point where you have to take the photo. If you can help it, if you have the animal there, now there's really almost no excuse. Everybody's got a camera phone, and the cameras on phones are damn good now. So I think, in my eyes, a good trophy photo, the animal should look represented with respect. Definitely don't straddle the animal. That's like my number one pet peeve because I feel like that's just so disrespectful to a beautiful animal that you just took its life, and then you're going to straddle over it like it's, you know what I mean? It's just too.
Like you're riding.
It just
a horse?
looks like shit.
Like you're riding the porn star.
and I am guilty of that when I was a younger kid, you know. But I just learned like when I shoot a deer, like what I want to try to represent it as. I try to position them to where they look natural and don't look like they're just rigor mortis, like you would never believe. I always try to keep a natural background. Of like where the animal would live, try to avoid like trucks in the background or buildings if you can help it. Now that you can't always help it, and sometimes you can make that stuff work for you. Like a cool barn in the background might be kind of neat. But I like a clean photo, good setting in the background, like where the animal lives. You're wearing your camo or whatever you hunted in. I personally like the weapon, like if it's a bow or a rifle being shown in the photo, because it avoids that question of what'd you kill it with, and you can kind of see it, but do it clean. There's ways to set it up. It just basically boils down to a clean, good, respectful photo that you can show your grandmother, and she'd be like, "Oh, that's a nice photo. Congratulations!" Like that's what your trophy photo should be.
And tuck the fucking tongue in.
Tuck the tongue in if you can help it.
Yeah.
I like antlered animals. I like to point their heads down a little bit because if you have their heads up, all you see is the bottom of a beam, and they just look too dead, like disrespectful dead if the head's up. And then my thing is like, don't put a fucking bottle of urine in front of the dead animal. Like, like I get it. Like sometimes. Like I put like my pack in front of it, like if I had to clean the animal where I shot it, so it covers like that open
the blood spot, or the cleaning spot.
Right, yeah. If you have a bag or a pack that you put it in there, if that really does make it look better, you do it. But man, I see some where it's like a guy will have like a whole line of products like shampoo, conditioner, field spray, urine, all that stuff in front of the animal. It's like, come on, like wear a hat of whatever that brand is, if that's what you're trying to convey. Like, hey, this and whatever scent company helped me kill. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just think it should be clean. And I might look at it from a little different perspective, like being a Pope and Young measure is like you have to, especially if it's going online, anyone can grab that and see it and can kind of base our whole culture off of what that photo is without actually knowing the culture. So I just love a good, clean, respectful trophy photo that you can share with anybody and they can kind of be like, oh, wow, like, and more ask about the hunt than be grossed out about the photo.
You know what? I think that's a really good ninja tip, actually. Hey, what rattles your antlers turned into a really good ninja tip. It's just clean up your photos, keep it simple, and keep it clean. To the basic. Answer the questions that people may have through your photo,
and keep it. Keep it realistic. I see a couple pictures the other day. These guys are like 8 feet behind these things. They look like they're 300 inches. They're not even touching the horns. They're like the ass end of the deer, and it's angling toward.
Well, there's a tasteful way to do that too. Like, I think you can do your portraying it too much, but I also like to not be. And this might be weird, and people are gonna be like, fucking, that's what happens. You're going to take the photo how it is, and fuck you, because I want it to look nice and respectful and clean. I worked hard for this, and I want to be able to share the photo with anyone, represent what we do as best as possible. But I do think that if you can kind of get away from the animal a little bit, but like you're not overpowering it and hugging over the animal. Like, you don't necessarily lean on it real hard, but you're not 8 feet behind it. Like, you're giving the animal to show its realistic size, but you're kind of presenting it as like what beautiful animal it is. Does that make sense? Kind of like,
no, it does.
Absolutely.
100%, man. 100%.
And some of my recent photos aren't the best, but I try to do it. So sometimes I take 200 photos. Sometimes I sit there and make Sam, like if I kill a doe, I always try to get a picture with them. Sam will be at the house. Now I can take him in my backyard because I have woods in my backyard. She might take 40 photos of me and a doe till I get like the right one that I feel like looks clean enough,
Right.
I'm the same way. I go on for hours taking pictures.
It's kind of a fun thing. Like, it's fun to kind of sit back and be like, hey, let's get some good photos. This is like the success moment. This is kind of your trophy. If you don't mount it or keep that photo or, keep something from that animal, sometimes all you have is the photo of the animal. And think about when you have like grandkids, or like when my daughter, like we took a picture, I killed 2 does my first sit in Illinois. And it was my first time I got photos with my daughter with me and deer. When she's 30, she might think that's like the coolest photo ever when she was 5 months old with her dad and 2 does, like that. I kind of owe it to the family and the heritage of what could be of future hunters in my family to look back on those old photos, that are really cool.
Yeah, or maybe when she's in her teens, be like, Daddy, you were all about those bros and does, huh?
She'll probably be like, God, you took shitty trophy photos, man. Let me show you how this is done.
Yeah, she's going to be a slayer for sure when she grows up, man. So that's a perfect time to, all this positive going around.
She's already been around more dead deer than Steve's ever been around.
I was trying to cut away from that. I was trying to cut away. Actually, I do give him props for getting in the tree and actually getting some pretty killer footage of those younger bucks, man, going at it. That was actually pretty cool. That was cool to see.
Yeah, but there's an asterisk next to that video because he wasn't on his own ground. He was in somebody else's tree stand.
I see. But the fact that he got out there.
He's trying.
Yeah.
Don't enable him, D-Rock. You're enabling him.
I just miss you guys, man. That's all it is. So
I know. I was giving you shit.
Round of positivity. Let's start with Trev.
Oh, nice. Round of positivity.
Yeah.
My round of positivity is that it is deer season here, and it's just awesome to be back in the woods and sharing deer hunting stories with all of our buddies again. I mean, it's been a long time coming. And just can't thank Curt for everything that he's done for us day in and day out and getting the podcast going and everything. We got big shoes to fill to follow.
For sure. Ryan, what you got?
Positivity for me is Monday, the 28th. Shabine Brewery, 1 Wolcott Road, Wolcott, Connecticut. It's going down. East Coast Bowhunting Podcast, the Modern Assassin, Elite Archery. Some big things coming, some big shout-outs, some big giveaways, lots of beer. So be there, be square. And, of course, thanks for Curt for coming on tonight and being our boy, being our friend.
Awesome. Ghost Hunter, what do you got?
I got to say, round of positivity today has to be, accepting new things and trying new hunting techniques, no matter how old you are, no matter how long you've been in the game, and no matter how good you think you've been. It's good to evolve. And I'm down to hunt state land this year, and I'm loving it. It's like the most positive thing I've done, getting outside my comfort zone, and it's humbling. It's cool.
Hell yeah, I'll piggyback off of that. And Curt's ninja tip is just trying new stuff. Just get out there, get after it. Don't get comfortable. Do the new thing, and stay slaying. So, Curt, what do you got? Round of positivity, man.
One, thank you guys for having me back on the show. Be able to kind of share my recent hunts, and I would say the positive thing right now is freezers are full.
Hell yeah,
right.
That's really positive, man. So let's close it out right there, man. Stay stepping.
And stay slaying.
Podcast go straight to hell. Yeah, speaking of hell, check out East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
We keep it real on the show. First of all, I'm addicted to the show.
I like that. That's cool. Home or hunt, you live it, you breathe it.
It's a whole different world.
Just East Coast has a little bit more of an edge and a grind.
It's a fantastic thing.
You guys are fucking awesome.
Well, number one is you guys like beer. I want to feel like I'm hanging with the boys.
You're the guys that showed up.
But I actually saw Jesus.
The point where it is now where it's insane.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Just want to get the realest people possible in the industry. If you're not pissing people off, you're not doing it right.
Nothing forced, all fucking natural.